Petals on the Wind, the 1980 novel by V.C. Andrews, serves as the second installment in the Dollanganger series, commencing with Flowers in the Attic. Spanning from November 1960 to the fall of 1975, the narrative unfolds after the escape of Cathy, Chris, and Carrie from Foxworth Hall, as depicted in Flowers in the Attic. Their journey to Florida takes an unexpected turn when Carrie, still weakened by the poison that claimed her twin, Corey, falls ill on the bus. Rescued by Henrietta Beach, a mute woman of African American heritage, the trio finds refuge in the South Carolina home of Henny's employer, Dr. Paul Sheffield. Initially reluctant to reveal their true identities, the children eventually confide in Paul, believing he genuinely cares for them. During their first Christmas with Paul, Cathy experiences a health scare during a ballet audition, leading to a revelation in the hospital that ADC was performed due to irregular periods resulting from near starvation in the attic. Although suspecting a miscarriage from her time with Christopher in the attic, Cathy keeps this to herself and resolves to focus on her dance career. Under the care of Henny and Paul, the children thrive. Chris pursues a pre-med program and later attends medical school, while Cathy enrolls in ballet school, first locally and then in New York City. Despite their successes, Cathy harbors a deep-seated desire for revenge against her mother, whom she holds responsible for their troubled lives. Carrie grapples with embarrassment over her stature and continues to mourn Corey's death. Cathy and Chris, conflicted by their feelings for each other, face a turning point when Cathy rejects Chris's advances, urging him to find love elsewhere. Over time, Cathy and Paul fall in love and plan to marry, much to Chris's disappointment. However, a revelation from Paul about his deceased wife, Julia, and their tragic end throws Cathy into turmoil. When Cathy is told that Julia might still be alive and that her miscarriage with Chris's child is known, she agrees to marry Julian Marquet, a persistent suitor from her dance company. In South Carolina, now known as Mrs. Julian Marquet, Cathy confronts Paul about Amanda's revelations. Paul discloses that Julia, Paul's late wife, had been in a permanent vegetative state from a suicide attempt around the time Cathy and Chris were taken in, eventually passing away when Cathy became intimately involved with him. Despite uncertainties about her feelings, Cathy realizes she had confessed to Paul about the incestuous relationship with Chris during their captivity. While Paul professes his enduring love, Cathy, feeling obligated to honor her commitment to Julian, acknowledges her mistake but decides to uphold the marriage. Julian, exhibiting jealousy and possessiveness, becomes abusive, unfaithful, and restricts Cathy from interacting with Paul or Chris. Chris urges Cathy to leave Julian, but she, pregnant and determined to make the marriage work, refuses. After Julian is paralyzed in a car accident, he takes his own life in the hospital, believing he can never dance again. Cathy gives birth to Jory Marquet and intensifies her quest for revenge against her mother. Moving to Virginia with Jory and Carrie, Cathy hires her mother's second husband, Bart Winslow, as her lawyer under the pretext of claiming Julian's insurance. Meanwhile, Carrie enters a relationship with Alex, who later reveals his intention to become a minister. Following a suicide attempt, Carrie shares a painful encounter with their mother, increasing her feelings of self-loathing. Carrie's death strengthens Cathy's resolve for revenge, leading to a blackmail plot and a plan to steal Bart away from his wife. Despite initially seeking revenge, Cathy and Bart fall in love. Cathy becomes pregnant, and Bart struggles between his loyalty to his wife, Corinne, Cathy's mother, and his love for Cathy. Cathy eventually reveals the truth to everyone. Corinne claims victimhood, asserting that she was trying to make the children gradually ill to rescue them, not realizing her father wanted them dead. A breakdown ensues, and Foxworth Hall is set ablaze. Cathy, Chris, and Corinne escape, but Bart perishes in the fire. In time, Cathy marries Paul, who passes away shortly after, advising her to be with Chris, who still loves her. Cathy and Chris relocate to California, but the tale concludes with Cathy apprehensive about the potential consequences if their secret were to be exposed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.